Guys, you can only watch this video if you're immune to controversial opinions. What? No! Anyways, with that out of the way, I can start the video. So, as you may know, Brickadia is now out in early access and everyone is praising that game. Everyone but me. I hate Brickadia! You're never gonna see me playing Brickadia even if I will be held at a gunpoint by multiple gay or trans people from the Brickadia community. Because if you dare hurt their feelings or misgender them, you will be sent 100 nuclear rockets towards your house. And don't even get me started on what the developers are doing behind the scenes. But we will get to that later. I already put a death mark on myself by making this video because the developers can take criticism and will silence and ban anyone who they don't like. So let's just move to my point on why do I think Blockland is gonna be better than Brickadia. Like, let's be real here, this game is literally just Blockland but with better building mechanics and graphics. But you know what separates Blockland and Brickadia? It's the lack of mod support. Like, bro, you can't tell me they've been making this game for around 7 years and there were no mentions of mod support whatsoever. Like, I don't care that this game is in early access, it's been in development for so long. The only reason why I'm still playing Blockland is because of mod support. You can literally bend the game to your will and do whatever the fuck you want. It's just that flexible. I think the developers don't even plan on adding mod support, which is actually so fucking crazy to me. You can't tell me that you're making a sandbox game with no mod support. Like, there might be a wire system which is the same equivalent to events in Blockland and called it a day. Like, imagine for a second where Minecraft will be without all of its mods. I can bring so many more games that are driven mostly by their communities. So everyone's praising the building mechanics in the game and I do agree, they are good. But bear with me for a second, is it worth paying $30 for this? Yeah, you heard me, $30 for an early access game, where the majority of the stuff that I can do is only build, as if the developers are trying to surprise me with building mechanics that are behind the paywall. Like, bro, I can literally go on Roblox if I want to build, while also being able to import my own models, making it infinite times more flexible, and Roblox is absolutely free. I have nothing against paying $30 because all modern games are now super inflated to shit, especially Unreal Engine games where you're paying for cool graphics, but this is not worth $30. Aside from building, you can still host minigames, and as you might guess, it's gonna boil down to the most simple stuff like death matches or something possible from their limited wire system. Which is something I guess, but I ain't ever recreating my game on some Brickadia because of how complex they are. Like, take Crystal Defense for example, with its crazy bosses. And even something simple like Skyboard Mining, a typical mining game, and that's most likely not gonna be possible to recreate. Now, be careful, I'm gonna be talking about the controversies. But I won't really go into that much detail because there are already videos made on the controversy, so I'm gonna link the videos in the description below if you want to watch them. Now, let's speedrun the controversies. So, one of the developers going by the name Ever was really into driving content that is not safe for kids. Exactly lollies and shotas, which is a massive red flag. And possibly groomed a minor by showing him NSFW furry content. Of course, this was brought up to a lead developer, but guess what happens next? Absolutely nothing. They will take action only after a month when a public document was made by banning the developer. Sounds crazy, right? That's only the beginning. So, this other developer, going by the name Port, was actually in a relationship with the last developer I was just talking about. They both share the same interests and had same fetishes, one of them being hebephilia, interest in children around the age of 11 to 14. Because it's hard to not have the same interests if you're in a relationship with someone else. And you know what? Port actually encouraged Ever to continue driving NSFW stuff. And in the end, Port just decided to leave, or was kicked, it's unknown. Was likely still working undercover on the game because Port was actually a main coder for the game, by the way. Then we have a former primary artist for the game that groomed a 15-year-old by being in an intimate relationship while being 20. This artist made most of the concepts and promotional artwork, which is, I think, is still being used up to this day, but I'm not too sure about that. And guess what happens next? The lead developer once again did nothing after being aware of the situation until public backlash. Once again, wow! And this time the developers would also censor any allegations of this ever happening. For the last person we have a sound designer for Brickadia that was groomed into viewing NSFW content at a young age. But for a very long time was posting up content as a way of coping? Like bro, what? You don't just go and post that type of content. That's not normal. Despite claiming that he's not a person who likes touching children. And also was defending Ever from the pedophile accusation, so that's something for you. And it's still working for Brickadia. At this point I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing something bad behind the scenes, because here at Brickadia we support this kind of people. But it doesn't end here. Now we're approaching the gold mine. On the day when this game was released into early access, Port just decided to join the Brickadia Discord server. And guess what does the staff team do? They just tell him hello? So you tell me they just accepted back a predator into their community like it's something normal? I remind you, Port is confirmed to have a sexual preference to 11 to 14-year-old children. Like what? You're like actually joking right now. I wouldn't even be surprised if the staff team is still friends with Port to this day. But shortly after, all messages were deleted involving the staff team interacting with Port. So that's where my point comes from when I said that Port is most likely still working undercover on this game. It's because of this situation over here. And now, tell me this. Are you willing to spend $30 on a game made by people that support child predators?
Hey guys, Jawad here, just making this voiceover part for Skybar's video about Brickadia. So, I feel very honored to take part in this because I've been thinking about Brickadia a lot, and honestly, paying $30 for an early access game with barely any features, besides building of course, and absolutely no mod support whatsoever. Not to mention the fact that the game has been in development for over 7 years and the updates were pretty inconsistent, and I don't think they'll get any better than this. Yikes. It is not worth the money. I mean, the game itself doesn't look bad, although you do need a decent PC for this. And we're not like trying to hate on it, but come on dude. Like, come on, $30? Really? Like, what's stopping me from buying Blockland and Garry's Mod for this money, and, you know, any other game really that is similar? Brickadia still has a very long way to go, and with the way things are right now, with the developer accusations, with the price tag, and the fact that the game isn't very popular at all, I don't think it's gonna survive for very long. And honestly, I kind of ran out of things to say, so yeah.
Hello, this is Beep, and I would like to yap a little about Brickadia's Discord community server. It was made in the year 2010 by a group of minor attracted people, with Adolf Hitler himself as the main developer, supported by a group of his loyal followers. 4 children he gathered on X.com, their main fighting force, Blockland renegades, Waffen-SS if you will, and Satan himself fighting on their side. The server itself is an authoritarian, left-wing fascist regime with mentally ill dictator controlling Discord server and his fascist lapdogs developing the game. Another fascist lapdog. Duration, banning people for silly and obviously far-fetched reasons. Like, what actually is this man? Man! Banned for being aggressive? Damn! If you're going to view the server as a political compass, then it's probably gonna be something like this. What the hell? Twitter minor just can't make anything cute for 4 communities, man. God bless Sticks, my ranch, and President Donald Trump. See you in the next one. Welcome to the world of Hearts Fire 4.